Fear doesn't always show up as panic. Sometimes it shows up as hesitation, as holding back, as knowing what you want, but never fully committing to it. And most of the time, that fear isn't about what might happen next. It's about what already happened before. And you can see that kind of fear clearly in today's character. This is Blessed Visions. Today we're talking about fear and how choosing to move away matters more than waiting for it to disappear. In World Trigger, you see this most clearly through Chika Amatori. And from the beginning, Chika wanted to move forward, but she was constantly held back. Not by the enemies she couldn't face, but by the hardest kind of enemy there is, the one on the inside. She couldn't bring herself to shoot others, and that hesitation didn't just affect her, it limited her role on the team. It made her strength conditional, incomplete. Not because she lacked power, but because fear kept deciding for her. And that kind of fear doesn't stay inside this story. This is where it starts to feel familiar. Fear doesn't always tell you to stop. Sometimes it convinces you to settle. You learn to say things like, "That's just who I am. I'm not built for that. I'll never be able to do this." And over time, fear stops feeling like something you have. It starts feeling like something you are. That's how past failures turns into identity. How trauma turns into boundaries you never questioned. And how regret quietly begins forming long before life is actually over. But fear doesn't become permanent on its own. Overcoming fear isn't easy, but it is simpler than we make it out to be. Because fear doesn't disappear through force, but it weakens through exposure. Chika didn't wake up fearless. She chose to move forward even before she felt ready. She committed, not perfectly, but honestly. And that commitment mattered more than any single success. Most people don't fail because fear is too strong. They fail because they never fully decide to leave the version of themselves that fear keeps safe. And you can see what that decision actually looks like. Chika's progress didn't come from one moment. It came from steps. She started with controlled environments, training with people she trusted, shooting where the outcome wasn't final, where mistakes didn't mean harm. And slowly, confidence followed commitment, not the other way around. With support from her team, it became clear that this fear wasn't permanent. It was learned. And eventually, during the final decisive moment, she chose to shoot. Not because fear vanished, but because regret mattered more. That decision changed everything. And that same choice shows up outside the story too. You say you want to change, but you stay half committed. You want growth without discomfort, freedom without risk. So you tell yourself comforting stories, sweet explanations, excuses that sound reasonable. And that's the real battle. Because fear doesn't chain you down. You tighten the chains yourself. Every time you choose safety over truly living and trying. Choosing to move forward is choosing a life with fewer regrets, even if it costs you comfort. And the truth is, that fear you feel was never fixed in the first place. Fear isn't innate. It isn't hereditary. It isn't simply who you are. It's learned, developed, and reinforced over time. And anything learned can be unlearned. Chika didn't destroy fear. She walked through it. And that choice is always available, even to you. Thank you for watching. If this connected with you, like the video, subscribe, and leave a comment. And be honest, what fear are you protecting that's quietly turning into regret? I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay blessed.